From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at Noon, streaming now.
And thanks for joining us here on the News at Noon. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is standing by from his home on this Tuesday, this Groundhog Day. And Todd, you and Punxsutawney Phil don't have the best news for us in terms of the temperatures, right?
No, temperatures are really chilly here across the area, Lauren. Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow in Pennsylvania, but as I always say, don't ever trust a groundhog with the forecast, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. But the good news is it's a brighter day for us here across the area. And even though temperatures are not going to get too far above freezing, the sunshine is going to help to melt a lot of this snow that we have out there away. So that is good news, as you can see from downtown to the north. Now, the problem is, despite the sunshine, there's still a chilly breeze out of the northwest, and temperatures right now are sitting below freezing still in all locations. 31 in Indy, 27 in Lafayette right now, 26 is the current temperature in Muncie. When you factor in the wind, we still have wind chill values in many locations that are in the teens, so you'll have to bundle up. There's a little more in the way of cloud cover off to the west. It's that thin band, and that's kind of cloud covered just because of those north winds off of Lake Michigan. So partly to mostly cloudy skies, depending on where you are. The further east you have, more in the way of sunshine. The further west, a little more in the way of cloud cover this afternoon. Temperatures won't do much more here throughout the day. Temperatures spike by midweek and then come crashing down for the weekend as we get an Arctic blast across the area. More on that coming up in just a few minutes, Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. New this midday, 2 horrific mass shootings are under investigation down in the south and the southwestern parts of the country. First, in Oklahoma, police are investigating the shooting deaths of 6 people, 5 of whom were children. This is video from the scene from our Scripps station out in Tulsa. The shooting happened in the city of Muskogee, Oklahoma, early this morning, southwest of Tulsa. Police say that a man and 4 children died at this scene, a 5th child later dying at a hospital. Officers arrested a suspect after a foot chase. They believe the suspect was related to the victims and that the shooting stemmed from a domestic situation. And now, meanwhile, down in South Florida, investigators say 2 FBI agents have been shot and killed. 3 others were wounded while serving a warrant in a child exploitation case. Authorities say the shootings this morning involved a suspect barricaded inside of an apartment in Sunrise, Florida, that's just outside of Fort Lauderdale. Investigators say that suspect is also dead. The shooting happened just after 6 this morning when agents attempted to serve warrants for what they call violent crimes against children. So far, that's all the information investigators have released so far. Well, it was a long ride to work for some Hoosiers this morning. This is a crash involved a semi-truck and another car right at the north split, causing a big backup on I-65 southbound coming into the city from the north side during rush hour. The crash happened around 5:30 this morning on 65 southbound near that collector ramp to Ohio Street. The semi-truck ended up on its side. A second vehicle was also damaged in the collision. State troopers at the scene tell us that a woman inside the vehicle was taken to Eskenazi Hospital as a precaution, but that her injuries are not believed to be severe. The driver of the semi-truck was not hurt. It took crews more than 2 hours to clear the scene and get that traffic moving again. New coronavirus cases continue to trend downward, but newly reported deaths of people with the virus are up today. The state health department reports just under 1,600 new COVID-19 cases today. However, the state also reports 65 additional deaths, with most of those happening over the past 4 days. Distribution of the vaccine starting to pick up again. More than 586,000 Hoosiers have now received at least their first dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. Excuse me, taking out to Capitol Hill now, the U.S. Senate is scheduled to hold a final confirmation vote for former South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg. He was nominated by President Biden to be his Secretary of Transportation. He's expected to be confirmed easily after his nomination sailed through committee last week. Buttigieg would also be the first openly LGBTQ person to be confirmed by the Senate as a cabinet secretary. City County Council in Indianapolis is united in its support for a ban on conversion therapy here in Indiana. That's the practice that focuses on young LGBTQ people trying to change things like their sexual orientation, gender identity, or both. It's already banned in 20 other states, and our Cornelius Hawker shows you why a group with personal experience is supporting this proposed ban. Cornelius?
These are just a few of the countless health and professional organizations that have taken a stance against conversion therapy, saying it's dangerous and should be outlawed because of the lasting impact it has on those who survive it.
That's where really depression and suicidality comes in. Why the suicide rate for so many youth who go through these programs is because they blame themselves. They didn't try hard enough. They're not able to fix the problem.
Matthew Shurka knows about this firsthand because from 16 to 21, he went through conversion therapy with so-called therapists telling Matthew he was gay because of this.
They said it was because I was too close to my mother and my sisters, being the youngest of three, and not spending enough time with my dad. And this is something we hear from survivors all across Indiana and the United States.
Matthew tells me those in charge of his therapy practiced a lot of pseudoscience, making him do odd things that had a great impact on him.
I wasn't allowed to speak to my mom and my sisters for 3 years. And I was instructed by the therapist to do that as a way to understand my role of male and female.
While not from Indiana, his experience is similar to many Hoosiers. It's why he and the organization he co-founded, Born Perfect, is throwing their support behind a pair of identical bills put forth last month that would ban conversion therapy for Hoosiers under the age of 18.
We want to make sure we can not put kids in harm's way.
We'll often say it takes a village to raise a family or to raise a child. And it's so important that that village is supportive of the child, regardless of who they are.
Indianapolis counselor Keith Potts, along with some of his colleagues, are behind a resolution brought up during Monday night's council meeting supporting a ban on conversion therapy.
It's simply a way for our council to use its voice to support legislation that protects Hoosier children.
The Marion County resolution was passed unanimously.
While our resolution at the council tonight is not a law, it's a declaration of our values, it's important that we talk more and more clearly about our values and how we think they should play out.
Having that clarity makes, be brought forward is, I think, important just as a highlight to Indiana, making sure those LGBT kids are protected.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, WRTV.
Well, the bill to ban conversion therapy is not currently scheduled for a committee hearing in the General Assembly. A similar bill filed 2 years ago did not receive a hearing. Student loan payments are still on hold, but what happens to them in the future is anyone's guess. So next, we'll have some tips on if you still have college debt hanging over your head. Todd?
And Lauren, the sun is shining, but still chilly across central Indiana, but we're not dealing with any precipitation as of right now. It's a quiet pattern for a couple days, but then we get into a storm system by Thursday and a blast of Arctic air for the weekend. We'll let you know how much rain we'll see and how low the temperatures will go coming up in your WRTV Storm Team forecast.
Tonight on ABC.
Welcome back. So there's roughly $1.7 trillion in outstanding federal student loan debt across the country. Our own Kelsey Anderson has more on what the government is doing right now to help you get through this pandemic and how it may impact you if you're still paying down your college debt.
Whether your federal student loan debt is enough to buy a small house or a small SUV, those payments and interest have been put on pause for the last 10 months, and that will continue through September. On top of the federal student loan pause, President Biden is expected to call on Congress to forgive $10,000 for all federal student loan borrowers, a simplification of what he promised while on the campaign trail. I spoke to two people who have student loan debt with differing opinions on the proposed forgiveness.
The student loan forgiveness, I think the idea is good. I don't think in principle or in practice it's good enough. So there's a lot of ways that this student loan forgiveness, it doesn't go far enough. It's the first step in my eyes.
We look at these individuals that are going to college. Some of them not necessarily chose the right path in college. Some of them I know have incurred additional expenses in college that shouldn't be put on the taxpayers. Frivolous spending.
Now, both Karen and Wheatley agree that changes need to start in high school with planning for college and future career, and changes also need to happen with college institutions with tuition prices and required courses. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you. So we want to give you an idea of the current tuition, what it looks like across the state of Indiana. Purdue University has frozen their tuition rates for 10 years now. In-state undergrad tuition comes out to about $10,000 a year. At IU, it's about $11,000 per academic year. At a private school like Butler University, tuition is around $42,000 per year, not including room and board. Well, you can't see him in person right now, but thanks to modern marketing, you can bring him directly into your home. Next, how some personal time with this guy is pretty pricey. And you're taking a live look outside this midday. Here's a look from our tower camera. View to the west. We'll get Todd's full forecast for a chilly week ahead. That's all coming up right here on the News at Noon. Stick around. Welcome back. On this Groundhog Day, Punxsutawney Phil isn't the only rodent who does weather forecasting. This one we didn't know about until today, actually. The National Weather Service office here in Indianapolis tweeted this out this morning. The forecasting office says, according to the possum out back, there are 3.5 weeks of February left. According to our forecast, there's definitely more winter ahead. So we'll have to see if Todd agrees more with the possum today than Punxsutawney Phil. And speaking of Phil, he's the Groundhog Day prediction, and it was virtual today. It's trying to see if you'd see a shadow. Means that we have 6 more weeks of winter. He saw his shadow, so that is the bad news. We want you to know you can still get the furry weatherman to record a personal message for you. However, as Jeannie Mose tells us, it's going to cost you.
They may call him prognosticator of all prognosticators, but who would have prognosticated this? Punxsutawney Phil selling personalized messages?
Hi, Ashley. Hi, David. What's up, Mitch?
His handler has to do the verbalizing.
This is Punxsutawney Phil.
But Phil perks up at his own name and is a master at staring soulfully into the camera. He has joined the ranks at Cameo, where humans,
nothing but the very, very best,
like Sarah Palin, get paid to send out customized messages.
Oh, young man, the world is your oyster.
It costs $249. If you want a shout out from Sarah Palin, Punxsutawney Phil is a bargain at $99, though the Groundhog has a higher price tag than political prognosticator Anthony Scaramucci with his $55 fee.
Well, Dan, I got great news for you. Your wife is like totally in love with you.
Totally in love with Punxsutawney Phil. At least 136 fans ordered customized messages before Groundhog Day, some celebrating a February 2nd birthday.
Phil, I'm sure, appreciates sharing his special day with you.
Well, it's Groundhog Day. Again?
And with a personalized message, you can relive it over and over, just like in the movie.
That's right, woodchuck chuckers. It's Groundhog Day!
Due to COVID, gone are the crowds of past Groundhog Days, the funny hats, and enthusiastic signs. The proceeds from selling cameos featuring Phil will help offset losses to the nonprofit Groundhog Club caused by the pandemic. The Cincinnati Zoo likewise markets messages.
Enjoy your day.
From their baby hippo, Fiona.
Love you.
Fiona herself gets paid in romaine lettuce leaves, while Phil seems happy just ground-hogging the camera. Jeannie Mose, CNN.
Waiting to worship a rat.
New York.
All right, Todd. Well, I'm a little short on cash today. Otherwise, I know you would love to have a cameo from Punxsutawney Phil today. Man, that's pretty funny.
Save your money, Lauren. Save your money.
I know. We'll just rely on your forecast.
I always do like seeing Fiona. I like seeing Fiona better than the groundhogs there half the time, right? All right, outside right now, we'll take you down to Bloomington. I showed you the view from downtown to the north earlier in the newscast here, and you saw nothing but sunshine. In this direction, you're kind of looking off to the west, and you can see that there's a little more in the way of cloud cover down there in Monroe County. Temperatures anywhere you go are sitting now in the 30s, with the exception of Muncie at 26 degrees. You notice the camera shaking a little bit down there in Bloomington, and that's because we have a bit of a breeze out there, and that's keeping us cool and also giving you some of the cloud cover out there, which I'll show you in just a second. Highs today will top off in the low 30s with partly sunny skies, depending on where you live, but this is what it's really going to feel like throughout the day today. Sunday, and that's only in the low 20s throughout the afternoon hours. Then if you do have plans this evening, wind chill values are going to be down into the teens. So definitely need to bundle up if you are going to be out and about. Thankfully, though, the sunshine will help to melt some of that snow away across parts of the roads, especially those roads, if they're in the sunshine that didn't get salt on them or plowed and they were slushy and then they froze and now it's kind of two icy ruts. The sunshine will definitely help. But we have a north wind, and with the north wind coming in off of Lake Michigan, that's why we have this cloud band just due south of the lake compared to the other part of central Indiana here on the eastern side of the state where we don't have anything in the way of sunshine. As the winds start to turn a little bit, though, we'll see a little bit more in the way of cloud cover, I think, for everybody throughout the afternoon hours. The big storm system slowly starting to wrap up there along the East Coast. Now, tomorrow's probably the best day of the week. It's not as breezy. We have sunshine from start to finish. Temperatures will be up into the low to mid 30s. Thursday will actually be warmer, and that's what I'm jumping ahead to here on TrueCast. This is Thursday at 2 p.m., as you see on the top of your screen here. This is going to be a day where we get into the 40s. There could be a little bit of a brief wintry mix as the precipitation comes in, but throughout the day on Thursday, we're mainly going to deal with all rain as the storm system swings through the area. There could be a few snow showers on the backside of it, but that is just about it. But once we get into the weekend, our temperatures are really going to dramatically drop, and by the time we get to Sunday, we're in the teens with wind chill values that are going to be well below zero. It's our first push of Arctic air so far this year. Here are your wind chill values Sunday afternoon at 12:30, anywhere from about -5 to about -25 degrees, and the wind chills will stay sub-zero probably all the way at least through Monday, because the actual temperatures on the Sunday and Monday in the morning hours will be below zero. Your high on Sunday only gets up to about 8 degrees, 11 on Monday, but all those days feature wind chills that are going to be in the negative numbers, Lauren. So kind of just mentally prepare yourself and maybe kind of plan ahead if you do have plans that included being outdoors this weekend. Saturday's not bad. It's chilly, but Sunday's when that real core of the cold air starts to make its way into the area.
All right, Todd, and that means the return of snow and the return of this snow artist. This is Rick Horton's latest Frosty creation outside of his home in Greenfield. Yeah, this is a snow baby Yoda from The Mandalorian. Rick has created many things out of snow over the years. You may have seen him on WRTV before. He's made bald eagles, UFO, the Minions from Despicable Me movies. He says that he's run out of ideas, so he took requests from the public, and they suggested the child from the Disney Plus series. Rick says it took him 7 hours to complete, and just about the same amount of time it would take you to watch all of series 2 of The Mandalorian. I don't know how he does it. That's pretty impressive. Well, do you have a pet that would make the perfect Cadbury bunny? Cadbury is holding a contest to find their new spokes animal for the Easter season. Someone's lucky pet will don the bunny ears for one of those famous Cadbury cream egg commercials. You can enter your pet in the contest no later than March 1st by submitting a photograph of your pet wearing the iconic bunny ears. If you don't have any, don't worry. They do have digital ones that you can use. Fans will then vote for their favorite, and the winner will be announced on March 23rd. Always love those commercials. When we come back here, it is time for our pet of the week. Maybe a Cadbury spokes model here. We'll have more information about this boy named Angus just after the break.
Call Ken.
Welcome back. It is our time to meet the pet of the week from Indy Humane, and today's pet is looking for a forever home. It's a shy boy named Angus. Indy Humane says Angus is sweet but sensitive. He's looking for a quiet home where his new family can help him build some confidence. Indy Humane also says Angus would do best in a home without children or other pets. The great news is that all of his adoption fees have been waived. So if you'd like to make an appointment to meet Angus, you can do that by visiting indyhumane.org. Oh, and he looks like a cutie, Todd.
Oh, he does. Look at him sitting there at attention, just waiting for the right people to walk in that door and pick him up and take him and give him his forever home. All right, outside right now. The clouds are increasing here. We'll definitely trend more cloudy throughout the course of the afternoon hours. 32 degrees. Tomorrow, mostly sunny. 34. We deal with rain on Thursday at 42, and then it is all about the temperatures for the weekend. Never good when we have negative symbol in front of the numbers there, Lauren, and that's what we have both Saturday and Sunday mornings.
All right, Todd, thanks so much, and thank you for joining us and making WRTV your choice for news. Have a great day.